The mythological cycle. This cycle is the most magical of all of the cycles. This cycle is the most ancient, while it's also the least preserved. This sets in the time frame of the very beginnings of Ireland, ancient times, of the supernatural events that occurred and the supernatural people that lived there. There were at least 4 different godlike people who lived in Ireland, and I'm not talking 4 different people, I'm thinking 4 different almost races of people who lived there. This cycle also included books like the Laba Capita Erin, or the Book of Invasion, the Lore of Places. There's lots of different stories from this time period. Some of the most famous stories are like the Children of Lore, the Wooing of Eden, and the Dreams of Angus. The Ulster cycle. The Ulster cycle is set around the 1st century. It is separated from a shift away from magic onto war stories. The primary characters in these stories, again, were warriors. It consisted of the sorrows of war and everything in between, as well as, of course, of what happened. The next cycle is the Fiann cycle, which was in the 3rd century. Fiann lore centers around nomadic people with hunting and fighting, while like the Ulster cycle, the main characters tend to be warriors, but the story shifted toward tales of romance. Animals were often the key role surrounding magic and wisdom as well. Like there's a story of a man who ate a fish and became a lot more wise. The last cycle we have is the King cycle, and this was from 200 to 475 AD. These stories are a mixture of historical figures, because it's encouraging others how to be a good king was a lot of the lore behind these stories. Since Ireland was moving away from paganism and toward Christianity, there's a lot less magic than the previous cycles, including some stories completely absent of magic. But typically, magic and historic elements were mixed due to the fact they were often written by bards or poets. A lot of Irish mythology is all surrounded by fate. A lot of them has to do with, what did you do to change your fate?
Fate be changed.
They had this really cool power where they could cast curses on anyone. They could change their fate as well as other people's. So if you went in the wrong area or you did the wrong thing, a demigod might curse you, or a fairy might curse you, or this being might curse you. While there are a lot of creatures in Irish lore, one of the most abundant creatures in Irish lore are fairies. Fairies are everywhere. But they're a little different than in Peter Pan. In Peter Pan, they come from a laugh of when a baby is born. Fairies and Irish lore just aren't really like that. That's just not true. Fairies are these hellions. They've said they are fallen angels whose sins weren't as good enough to go to hell. They are scary. They don't even use their original name. People are scared of them. Some of the things that fairies can do, if you encroach on their land, they might swap out your children for changelings, which is another type of fairy. Fairies aren't just your typical fairy that you see, however. They don't just have wings and fly in the air. Fairies are almost any mythological creature that is talked about in social media. Like the banshee, like leprechauns are a breed of fairy. Changelings are a breed of fairy. Fairies were the supernatural beings of Ireland. There's something saying that they're the Tudrian, the special race from the beginning of time in Ireland. They're all different types of fairies, and one of these types of fairies that we see in Ireland lore in social media today is a banshee. Here's a snippet from Sabrina the Witch on Netflix.
That is a banshee, also known as a wailing woman.
Why is she here? It's an omen, Sabrina. I'm sorry, but a member of the Spellman family is going to die soon. Maybe more than one.
video did a very good job of explaining what exactly a banshee was. The name banshee actually means band to the mount, and that's where these fairies would hide, and fairies would hide in general. But banshees in specific would hide either in caves, known in dark forests, and if you heard a banshee wail, which was a terrifying scream known to be heard for miles and miles, you heard the scream, you knew one of your family members or someone was going to die in the next couple days. Banshees, which they got wrong in this video, actually had red eyes, and they had long dresses. They were known to be beautiful creatures. They had silver shiny hair or red hair or blonde hair, and they were just gorgeous, and you would see them a far way out. They wouldn't hurt you, from my knowledge, but you didn't want to go looking for them. That's all I can read. The last fairy example today is going to be the leprechaun. In social media, they're really friendly and, oh, it's on the other side of the rainbow, they're giddy, they jump over the rainbow, over the pot, but they are not like that in Irish lore. In Irish lore, leprechauns are tricksters. Think Rumpelstiltskin could have been a leprechaun, honestly. They will do anything for gold. They will do anything for gold. So much so that they will trick you into getting lost. If you find a gold pot, they're known to not be able to bring it home because they get so dizzy that they die trying to bring this gold home. It's awful. Thanks for listening to my video. I hope you enjoyed these mythology facts of Ireland, and have a great day.